Okay, with this question we're asked to determine the angle of elevation in the diagram below to the nearest degree. Now it's the angle of elevation. Now an angle of elevation is always measured from the horizontal up. Angle of depression is always measured from the horizontal, but it will be down in this case. So this is clearly the angle that we're asked to determine the value of. Now we've got to use our trigonometric ratios to find that angle, given that it's a right angled triangle. So we need to remember SOHCAHTOA. The first step is to label the sides of this triangle with respect to the angle. Now I'm only going to be interested in labeling these two sides because they're the sides given. I don't care what that side is. So with respect to theta here, or the angle of elevation, the 11.2 is the opposite side. We label with no. Okay, opposite because it's not touching, it's opposite that angle. The 21.9 is the hypotenuse. Remember, the hypotenuse is the angle the side which is opposite the right angle, and it's also the longest side of the right angle triangle. Now, because I've only labelled those two sides, that tells me which trigonometric ratio, either sine, cos or tan, I should be using. The only one of these trig ratios that has an O and a H in it is sine. So that's what we write. We write sine theta equals opposite over hypotenuse. The next step is to substitute into the formula. So we're going to write sine theta still. We're rewriting the same thing, but we're just substituting in the bits we know. Theta we don't know, so we're going to leave theta as is. But we do know what O is. Our O is 11.2 meters, so we're going to put in 11.2 over here. And our H we know as 21.9. The next step is to rearrange the equation to find the unknown. Now our unknown is theta. So we need to get rid of this sine section. In order to get sine over to the other side of the equation, you need to do the opposite of sine, or what we call sine inverse. So we rewrite now theta with sine going over here, but we write it as sine inverse, or sine -1, which you press shift and then sine on your calculator to work out. When we put that in on the calculator, we get 30.78 something. Now degrees, but we've been asked to round this to the nearest degree. If we don't do that, then we will miss out on marks in the exam. So it is important that we then say that's approximately equal to 31 degrees, which is your final answer to get the full 2-mark allocation.